Well, from a tanker driver's perspective, there's all sorts of delivery locations. And whilst we've looked at delivery tanks underground, there's also above ground applications as well. Glenn, what are the sort of things that a driver's got to be mindful of when you're looking at delivering product to an above ground tank?
Yeah, well, unlike an underground tank, most of these tanks are on a stand. They can be large, they can be small, they can be on farms, they can be in industrial areas. So things the driver needs to look at, he needs to complete a good pre-delivery inspection. So he needs to, when he exits the vehicle, he needs to have a good look at the tank and make sure that it's a sound condition before he commences the delivery.
Now, obviously in the controlled environment or relatively controlled environment of a service station, things are pretty well mapped out. Maybe not always the case when it comes to delivering product off-site.
Yeah, well, as you'll see in the video, when the driver arrives at the site, he parks the vehicle, he exits the vehicle using 3 points of contact, as we require our guys to do. When he comes around to the delivery area, he notices that the delivery area is quite uneven and there's some water laying around there. He completes an SPSA, which is a small risk assessment. He assesses the problems there on the site. He puts some controls into place so that he's going to remain safe while he completes the delivery.
And I guess just with that same principle of what we do within the service station site, it is about setting up that safe work area and managing those risks.
Yeah, well, above ground tanks could be on farms, they could be in quarries, they could be on industrial sites. So we need to certainly ensure that we monitor any traffic flow into the area. It may mean that we need to go and ask some people to turn some machinery off. But the driver needs to control that before he commences the delivery, so set himself out a good, safe work area.
And I guess from the rest of the procedure then, from once you've checked out the site and made sure that those things are in place, what happens next?
Very important that the driver connects his bonding cable to the tank, from his tanker to the tanker, to eliminate any static electricity. He needs to then check the site gauge, so he needs to open that up, and some of these are manually open the site gauge to check the contents of the thing, or to dip if it's a larger tank where he can access a dip point to dip the tank, confirm the ullage so he knows how much fuel he needs to put into that tank.
And then it gets those same principles then once he's actually delivering the product, it's those same safety principles that are looking about it, making sure that the flow is actually correct.
Yeah, with the hose reel delivery, he needs to ensure that once he connects the hose reel to the fill pipe of the tank, he needs to secure that. And there's varying ways he can do that. He can use safety clips, he could use wire, he could use cable ties, he could use tape. There's some special clamps around that you can buy, or simply a rubber O-ring can do that just to secure that, because with vibration, with the pumping of the fuel, we get a vibration. With that vibration, it's enough sometimes to dislodge that gun if it's not securely on there.
And that really surprised me. I didn't realise there was enough vibration in that process, and again, as you said, through that metal fatigue, if you like, that could actually break that connection.
Yeah, well, it's just the flow of the fuel through the pump. Obviously, when the compartment runs dry, we get some air goes in through that, and it shakes that gun on the thing. So it's very, very important that we make sure that hose and that connection will remain in situ if that happens.
So he's on site, he's delivering the product, all that's done. When the process is finished, what's next?
Well, the driver remains in control of the delivery. We don't want them wandering off around the place, so they need to stay right there in control. Once he completes the delivery, he shuts down the pump, he closes all the valves, he double checks the sight tube if he's using the sight tube, or if he's doing an after dip, he needs to go back and do an after dip. Once again, he needs to wait for that 2 minutes to let any static electricity discharge before he uses the dipstick. Then he could come down, pack up all of his equipment, complete any housekeeping he has there, so make sure that he leaves the area safe and clean, pack up his safety cones, complete the 360-degree walk around before he exits the site.
And I guess especially, I mean, that 360-degree walk's important all the time, but I guess when you're operating in those remote locations, it's just that extra peace of mind to make sure that you've got your house in order before you leave.
It's very, very easy to leave a bonding cable connected or something like that. So by completing that 360-degree walk around, we ensure that everything's disconnected between the tanker and the tank.